Hey guys, welcome to the Livewell, brought to you by Digital Sportsman, where we get together with our community and talk fishing. The show's fixing to start, we're getting everything ready. But in the meantime, we want to tell you about our fine partners that not only make this show possible, but are companies that we absolutely love and stand behind. Groove Fishing, changing the norm of tackle storage. Sonar Pros, specializing in high-end installations across all electronic brands. Go where the pros go. Lip Sticker Fishing, specializing in putting clients on giant Lake Lanier bass. Bill Payne's Guide Service, fish with a legend on Lake Allatoona, seasonal smallmouth trips, or even get your sonar dialed in. Brooks Anderson Fishing, guide trips and educating today's anglers on Lake Lanier. Big League Charters, fish with a pro on Tellico, Port Loudon, Watts Bar, and Chickamauga. Money Saver Lure Retriever, designed to break your lure free from almost any snag. Fishers of Hope, benefit fishing tournaments to help people in need. Serve IT, industry-leading IT services for your business. Change the way you manage IT. Kerner Tire, Jasper, Georgia's most trusted family-owned tire center. Atlanta Safe House, the trusted source for safes and gun safes in Tennessee, Georgia, Kentucky, and Alabama. And of course, Digital Sportsman, a new way to discover and book unforgettable outdoor experiences with local trusted guides. Go to fngo.com to get direct links to all our fine partners. Get ready and let's talk fishing. All right, we are live. Welcome everybody to the Livewell's Monday Night Kayak edition. Hope everybody's doing well out there. You can see the panel we got right there. We're gonna have a great conversation tonight. It's Thanksgiving week, so I hope all you guys are doing well, got your plans. Some of us, like me, we started eating turkey and stuff yesterday. It's a week-long event. Everybody's gonna have a lot of fun, gain a few pounds. But tonight we got a great guest. It's Kendon Townsel, right? Did I say it right? Is it Townsel?
That's right. That's right.
I did that right. Of course, we got Alex Purrs and John Aldred in the house as well. What's going on, everybody, in the comments? When we started doing this idea of a kayak show on Monday nights and all that, I told Alex, I said, all right, you're going to have to find the guest. Who's who in the kayak world. And so we got Mr. Kendon, and I did a little research on you, son. And I tell you what, you're an impressive individual. So welcome to the show. No, don't shake your head. Don't shake your head. Welcome to the show. And I appreciate you joining us tonight.
No, thank you. I've followed the show for the past couple of years now, and I'm greatly humbled to be a part of you guys. And love what you guys are doing here for the state of Georgia, not just North Georgia, but the whole state.
Well, we appreciate that. Well, actually, we're just a bunch of heathens, right, guys? We just like to talk fishing, and I'm glad after a couple of years we ain't run you off, and you're still around. So let me check the comment section. Tyler, Jeff Brazil, Coleman's there. Stephen Sturgeon, John G. I'm surprised he ain't on the Oconee fishing right now while he's listening to us. Nathan Owens, Doc Holiday. I still haven't gotten used to the way YouTube is changing everything up and putting at everybody's names now. So it's a little bit different. And Miko Fishing Pro and all that. So So anyway, let's go. Let's jump right into it. I'm gonna throw you a first softball question, and then that way we'll get you kind of juiced up, ready to go, and then we'll roll with it. Tell everybody that does not know who Kendon is a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Born and raised here in Decatur, Georgia. My dad's side of family is from Miami. History of them, they were all fishermen, on that side. So the fishing started early. When they got up here to Atlanta, my dad always wanted a boat. That was the first thing he wanted to do and to teach me fishing. So we got out there, started hitting Lanier real early. But my dad was a big bank fisherman and a big crappie fisherman, and he ran up to get some bass guys that were hitting up Varner, Black Shoal when it had opened up, Varner when it had opened up here in the early 90s and late 80s. And they got to putting some impressive numbers for crappie and bass. My dad was out there for the state record of the crappie that was caught on the boat, but didn't catch it. It was kind of crazy growing up in that time and all about fishing and getting out, soaking a worm or a minnow. It was a minnow at that time. So, right. But my pops was like always, he wanted to hit the smaller branches of, these reservoirs. So he wanted to downsize and when the kayaks came along, I was like, oh, that's a good idea, something to put in my back pocket maybe for when I come back to fishing. And got older and wanted to do fishing again. Life takes you different paths and many different paths.
Right. No, I
But
got it.
I always loved fishing and came back when I saw that kayak was taking off, and got into kayak about 4 years ago. And um, I won't get out of a kayak again. I won't ever go back to a boat. I think I love being that close to the water, and it feels like home. It feels like a different world, sitting in the kayak than doing it from a boat to me.
So what kayak are you in now?
It depends on the day. Like between work and stuff, I mean, I've got like 6 kayaks back there now, but I'm mostly on New Canoe for work. I'm on Crescent Smalley, and that's a joy because I like whitewater raft, kayaking as well. To get certified, I'm a certified kayak instructor, so I went up and did a lot of practice with a whitewater boater that is also nationally certified, and fell in love with that. So that Crescent Smalley is a little tippy, but it's perfect for cutting and carving skinny wood.
What's that look like? The path to becoming an instructor?
It's not that hard actually if you want to do it. So they have it in tiered levels, and I'm very, very appreciative of my job saying putting a pause on me before throwing me out and saying go instruct all these classes and all these people without the know-how, because I completely changed the way that I paddle. Some of these trips are 30 miles in 2 days, and I can go another 30 miles in another 2 days, it feels like, afterwards, because of the paddle stroke that I learned. But you could take it and do like a level 1, which is a lake setting, and you can really flourish on that. And it takes a couple of days to pass that class. I am a level 2 instructor, so I can teach on a little bit of whitewater, and it's a little bit more rigorous. So it's a little bit more training, but it can be done. If you're an experienced kayaker, I say if you go into it with the mindset of you're there to learn and to forget kind of some of the things that you picked up on, it'll be real easy for you.
Awesome.
I got that. I was listening to you. You mentioned Varner and Black Shoals.
Yeah.
Like, listen, Black Shoals kicks my ass every time I go down there.
Really?
I can't figure that. Varner, okay, I can catch some fish on Varner. I've been to Black Shoals in a couple of tournaments, electric only tournaments. I wet the bed every time I go down there. So you're gonna have to give me some tips on Black Shoals, because it absolutely whips my butt. Got a couple of questions here already. Now, Tyler Shelnut wants to know, will the permitting in Alabama affect kayak tournaments? I don't quite know, because kayak tournaments are a little bit different. Because you're not putting in at a specific ramp, taking up a ramp. Everybody can put in wherever they want. Most of the time, right? I'm correct on that, right? Pretty much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the liability stuff is kind of already. We've been talking about that some in our league.
Yeah.
With insurance and stuff like that. If there's an accident, ultimately it can come down on the tournament director and the board of directors.
Really, still, even in kayaks, huh? It's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. Now, I believe this is a question for you, Kendon. And we'll keep, listen, as we sprinkle these questions in, we're going to keep talking about you and exactly what you do. We'll get with the Fish Georgia Rivers and all that as well. Papa Pond Hopper, what's going on tonight? What are you going to be throwing going into the winter season? And I'm gonna do that 2 ways, Kendon. First of all, if you're in a river,
Yeah,
fish rivers during the winter season, and then a lake. What are your strengths? What do you like to do?
yeah. In a lake, I'll talk about my strengths first, because that's lake time for me. I like to go, after a cold front. I'm in the Stone Mountain area, so I like to hit up Stone Mountain in the wintertime. I leave it alone in the fall time. After that turnover, I've kind of learned to leave it alone. I go up to Lanier and all the mountain lakes in the fall. So, but Yeah, I'm gonna be out there in the like deepest cove, deepest pocket, deepest ravine, trying to find something with a underspin, a minnow. I am a minnow guy. I'm a crazy minnow guy. I love that minnow bite. Spoon, and I like a flutter spoon, and I do some little tricks to mine. I don't hold back. I usually throw a little swivel in the front of the Johnson Sprite spoon. That's my favorite one, and have a lot of success with that. So that's my thing in the winter.
Do you
Now,
put a hook on the top of your swivel spoon?
Do I do what now?
Do you put a hook on the top of your swivel spoons? Or
I actually started doing that. Something real funny happened this year with me doing that, and I stopped it immediately. I can't remember what it was, but the first time I tried that, I did something stupid, and it was probably me. I know it was me, but yeah, I don't really. I actually have a problem with it if when I get it to the boat and the fish actually hit it up under the boat. That's when I have my issues with hooking up. But if I'm far away from the fish and jigging it back, then I'm usually pretty good with that little smaller one. I throw bigger spoons too, but I don't know. They don't really hit for me on my lakes. I've got a couple, but yeah.
I got you. So our buddy cranking and yanking. I love his first question every single time for our guest. You a scoper or a noper? And I got a feeling that answer that you just gave lets us know that you a scoper.
Yeah. So I am a scoper. I will say that. Yeah, I love the scope bite. But it started with me wanting to learn offshore. And I learned offshore in a little vibe kayak first. And that was my whole thing growing up. So my dad always hit the bank. It was a bank, bangity bank. And I was always off the back of the boat.
Yeah.
One day I'm gonna be able to learn all of this. And we were always going up to Lanier and West Point. We stayed at West Point. So when I grew up, I knew I was going to be offshore, and then when scope came up, I learned the scope. But I did briefly learn, offshore, real not real good or crazy, but without the scope offshore first. Yeah,
but it does help. If you can go to Lanier and get on them spots and that timber and all that, it does help. It does help.
Definitely does.
All right. So Tyler's got a question here. Have you kayaked on the Nantahala? I trout fish up there, and I see dudes kayaking like the 20-foot Cascades.
Yeah. So shout out to Westbrook Kayak, because Westbrook supplied it. They're a company that I work with, and I'm part of their fishing team. But the owner there, Fletch, gave me this life jacket, and the life jacket has a Nantahala ring around it. I've never been up there. I always hear the stories. I look at the videos all the time. Like I said, I really have gotten into this whitewater boating, but every time I take that thing out and I go to like the Chattahoochee or the Chestatee or something, somebody stops me and grabs me and goes, "You've been to Nantahala?" And I'm like, no.
I get it. Fletch is a cool dude. Westbrook, that's a great company.
Yeah.
They actually gave me my kayak that Alex still has. I'm not doing nothing with it right now. I just like to remind you that you got my kayak. I got a Sholey. They gave me a Sholey. And so
that's a good one.
And I got to get out there on some of the rivers. I might just go with you. We might just all go together. You might be the one to get me out on the river.
Oh, yeah.
John, we got a question. Let's see. I missed that one. John, this one's for you. You still throwing big swim baits? Will you still throw them as the water gets colder? And Kendon, you throw them too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I throw them year round. I do throw a lot more of the soft swim baits during the winter. Switch over to the 5 and 6 inch burrito. But I'm still going to throw a wake bait all winter. If it's not frozen, I'm going to throw a wake bait. So,
yeah. What kind of big swim bait do you throw, Kendon, in the wintertime?
Mostly a Clutch Eco. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite one.
All right, now Jeremiah. Black Shoals is like the top 8 lakes in Georgia for me, but most everyone else I know hates it there. And then 404 Fishing says Black Shoals is a tough place. Like, I get my ass kicked every time I go. I can't figure it out. I don't know what it is. Some guys, they got it figured out. They do well. Personally, for me, I'm just It's tough, but I don't fish.
Where is that?
Yeah, is it electric only?
It's like
I've never been there.
It's electric only. It's a part of Rockdale's or Rockdale County watershed.
Nice lake.
Drinking water.
Yeah, it's a nice lake. I just it don't like me. It don't like me. And I don't like it, but it is a nice lake. What league do you fish?
So I fish a various bunch of different leagues, but the main ones are Georgia Bass Nation and Georgia Kayak Fishing League, GAKFL.
Yeah, as you probably know, I'm the least experienced with the kayak world around here. That's why I got these guys here. So I've got to learn all the trails and all that. Because once I get my kayak back, I might jump into one of these tournaments here.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. I got to get it. Now, here's a good question for you, and this is for me personally. For somebody that wants to get into kayak fishing tournaments, but they're not experienced, give me 1, 2, maybe 3 or 20. I don't care. Good pointers on what I need to know going into getting into kayak fishing tournaments.
I give you a couple. So make it what some things that I've experienced this year from, I say from myself and my close friends, make it as enjoyable for yourself as you want it to be. At first I went into it, I'm gonna be the best, and it's a lot of money involved, it's a lot of time involved, it's a lot, so if you go into it and I set the bar kind of low. I just want to catch. My first season, it was like a tandem type thing. So I just wanted to catch a limit, in that thing. If you start at increments and don't just come out swinging for the fences, you'll enjoy the season. You'll enjoy your time. It's a big learning experience, come out with, some people are real secretive. You'll find that most people are in this little area, in this little arena of kayak fishing. Most people are friendly and, they do want to advance the sport. So if you put on a good attitude, it will come back to you, is what I'm trying to say. So, and that will push you to the top. So if you do good, you'll be treated good.
I like that. That's sound advice, Alex. What do you think?
No, I agree 100%.
All right. So Mr. Crankin' and Yankin, he goes, and if you've watched the show, then you know how he is. He just wanted to, he goes, might as well cut out the top of your yak and put it in a boat like that. He's going to rag it. Sorry, this is just what I do. And listen, you bring personality, Crankin' and Yankin, to the show, and that's why we allow you to stay. We love you, dude. So absolutely. Now, I want to get all three of you, because all three, now, except John. John, you don't run electronics, right?
I've got a fairly inexpensive Lowrance.
Okay, so but you ain't got no fancy setup.
No, and it had side scan, but I kind of dragged it over stuff too much and broke that. So
okay, well there you go. So
I got 2D.
All right, so Kendon, you answer this first, and then Alex, I want your opinion if you have something to add on to it. I always hit the wrong button. Here we go. What's your recommendation on a beginner graph setup for a kayak, Kendon?
I say I still would run the same route that I ran today. Like if I had to do it all over again, I still would start with, I had a Garmin 7 SB, the side view, and I took that thing out. Miko 404 Fishing and all these guys in the chat, they'll tell you I went out and mapped lakes after lake after lake. And I got in depth with that side scan. I started marking stuff. I started doing all type of stuff. And that I still would run that same route today. It's a good solid graph. You can get them for now, I think like $350 to $400. I don't know, that side scan just boosts that, price way up. But it's a real good tool to have.
I like that. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, my first graph was a Humminbird Helix 7. And it was 2D only, and I really got it for the mapping because everybody knows Lake Masters is like the best.
Yeah.
And after I got used to that, learned how to read the 2D some and pick stuff out on it, I went and got another Helix 7 that had side imaging and down imaging on it. And then I started learning how to read the side imaging and stuff, and like he said, marking different things and reading the structure. But now I've got two 9-inch Garmin's, and the side imaging it's still pretty good. It's not as good as the Humminbird was, but
Yeah.
I knew I was going to go live scope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and see, mine doesn't even have mapping because I wasn't going to pay for that because I fish such small lakes or mainly a lot of creeks, little feeder creeks, small rivers. So there was no point in the mapping. So I chose not to even buy it because there was no sense wasting money on it.
Some of those small bodies of water ain't even on there. You're just looking at a blue spot.
Right.
That's John's nice way of saying I'm a cheap ass and I ain't paying for it.
Most of the year I'm fishing in like 5 foot or less anyway, so I can see the bottom. I don't need a map.
I know you don't, but I tell you what, though, what Kendon said is actually pretty smart. Nobody talks about that because I know some of my buddies, because I got Latham right here in the front yard. They did exactly what you were talking about. They just spent 3 or 4 days in a row and mapped the entire lake because it's not available on a lot of it. And it actually, to me, that gives them a little bit of an advantage, even with somebody that's got a scope. If you know the contours and you know where a little ledge is or a creek, that's some of the best stuff you can do right there. It just takes some time, right? I mean, you just got to put in the time to do it. So, John, you know I love you. I'm just teasing you, right?
Oh, yeah. But I use Google Earth Pro.
Mm-hmm.
So you can change the date on it, and I can bump back dates until where the water was low and can find structure even on the lakes that may not be on a map.
Yep.
But so it takes a little more homework, but I enjoy it.
I know you do.
With the Lake Masters, I had the VX chip, and you can switch it to satellite view and bring the water level up and down with it too.
What?
Oh, good Lord.
Didn't know that?
Well, hey, listen, Frankie, don't be fussing about scope. He's manipulating water levels over here. Stuff right here. Kendon, and I guess all you guys are all kayakers. I will be one day, but Jeremiah wants to know, do you have a dream fish to catch from your kayak? I've seen people pull off tarpon, sailfish, marlin for the yak. I think them guys that get out in the ocean and they're 5 miles out getting pulled by some damn shark out there. That's a little bit insane for me. Or when they got the killer whales and everything swimming around them, that's not for me. But what about you? You into that thing?
I'm not into it too much. I am into like inshore. I want to do a inshore build. Crescent just came out with a nice inshore skiff. They're really looking at that lately, and but I want a nice big monster snook.
Oh yeah,
big snook run. And growing up, my dad taking me back down to Miami, that was the thing to go get. My grandma's house was backed up to a canal. My uncle's house the same way. My auntie's house the same way. So we would go down there and just rotate houses and go catch snook, any and everything that was down there biting. But that's the dream for me.
What about you, Alex?
Man, the saltwater really scares the hell out of me.
I know it does.
I would really love to catch like a 30 or 40 pound striper from the kayak. I think that would be a hell of a ride.
It would. You can do that in Lanier, and you can ask John what a 50+ pound fish feels like because he did a big old flathead cat out of his.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you guys watch Kayak Catfish, but he was down in Florida. His video from last week and hooked into a big bull shark.
Oh no!
And it came up under the boat and knocked the fins off his hobie.
Ooh, see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that was scary.
Alex, no,
I won't do that.
No,
I mean, honestly, the only fish I would kind of wish I was catching that I haven't done, which is silly because it's local, is a shoal bass. I mean, I like my trips up north, on the pike and the smallmouth, but I'm always looking for a big largemouth. But it's kind of ridiculous. I've been kayak fishing for so many years and I haven't caught a shoal bass yet.
You know what? But still, that's one you want, and I agree with you. That would be a good one. Now,
I think a muskie too.
A what?
A big muskie.
Oh, that would be fun too.
Watching Christine Fisher,
her
video doing it, man, and that looks like fun.
Yeah, she can do it. Now, Moist Donut says we always had good luck on black shoals on the dam, and once you round the corner. Okay. What are you laughing at? You know that spot?
Yeah, that's a pretty high spot, but a lot of people don't go down there, so that's why that's kind of that's a real hot spot back in the early 2000s. I know some 13 to 15 pound bass that have come out of that spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
That got y'all's attention, didn't it?
Yeah, we got to go down there.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you about that spot. Is it deep or is it shallow?
It's both. It's got a little bit of both with some trees. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Now, John G says, biggest thing is learning how to take the picture on the measuring board and submitting it properly. Absolutely. 404 Fishing said, yes, measuring spots on a board in a kayak definitely takes some practice. Keep that net up. And listen, that's what they screwed me with that one time I jumped into that 4x4 or whatever that tournament was, and the guys sent me out there on the near. They didn't tell me, first I didn't have a net, and then I had the catch board, what you call it?
Yeah.
I had on my knees up top. And then I caught a spot. It wasn't but like a 2.5 pound spot. And I'm sitting there trying to get that joker's mouth shut while I'm taking the camera. And about the time I hit press, that thing tail flipped and shot right off in the water. And I was like, this ain't.
But you know, the worst one is the shoal bass. And I let out a laugh because we had a tournament this year where it was just on the Flint River, so it was going to be shoal bass. And I mean, those things will kick and claw their way out until they die. They will not stop, and they will literally go dead before they stop. So those are the worst ones.
Have you caught a shoal bass, Alex?
No.
See, I haven't.
Man, we gotta get y'all down.
No, dude, listen. Like all of our buddies go down there, especially the Westbrook team and all that. They're always down there, and you know, mullet angler and all them. They're always and Georgia Bassmaster. They're always catching these shoal bass, and we never go. We got them on Lanier. If we just go,
I was about to say, you go up to Chattahoochee.
I know. We just suck, man. Fishy Nick. I'm late to the party, but it's awesome to see the king of Stone Mountain Lake on here. Now, listen. I go down to Stone Mountain. My wife makes me go every daggum year for Christmas, is that goofy Christmas parade and all that stuff. But I see the lake. I've never fished it. I see it. I look at it. I'm like, I bet that looks fishy here and all. Just for those of us that haven't fished Stone Mountain Lake, just give me one or two, little. What kind of lake is it? I'm sure a largemouth, I assume.
Yeah, it's all largemouth, crappie, catfish, brim, bluegill. That's it. There's some perch in there actually, and it's still kind of kicking. But that lake is so hot or cold.
Okay.
But we're kind of narrowing it down. Miko's on here. He kind of burst a bubble a couple years ago and went out there. We kind of cracked the code, and it's a shady lake. So, but it's
That was a little bit of a nugget right there when he said that's a shady lake right there. You guys catch that.
It's a shady. It's a slept-on lake. I'll say that. But you have to know when to hit it. I'll say that. You can go out there and see nothing, and you can go out there in times of year and see schools of fish everywhere, and it's heaven.
Okay, well, just tell me, is it right about the time they do the Christmas parade and all that over there? I got a reason to get away. My wife makes me walk, and I got to do that goofy train ride. I just say, you take that, I'll pay for it all. I'm going to slip down there and try to fish.
I actually remember, one of those crazy, I think it was like a New Year's Day thing. I remember the traffic was backed up all the way across the two bridges that lead into the main part of the park. And that was like one of my best days out there, wintertime. But it's a winter and summer. If it can be as hot as it can, and like this year, it was 96, 97 degrees out there, and I was catching them like 40 and 50 fish topwater all day long. And it's either hot, it has to be real hot or real cold, and that's it.
Either one of you guys ever fished Stone Mountain?
No, I've never even been over there before.
Listen, like we sound real like we're having a kayak show. Like, you ever caught a shoal bass? No. You ever been to Stone Mountain? No. You fish black shoals? It's great. No, we suck at it. We sound really good tonight on this. So, but John Crankin and Yankin had a comment for you. Don't let them give you a hard time, John. Old school is always a better experience. And then he has a question for you, Kendon, and any of you guys. What is the most stable kayak for an old man such as myself on a budget? Now, listen, now he's old, and so, rickety legs, all that kind of stuff.
The most stable I've been in is what I'm in now, which is the native Titan X 12.5. And I mean, you can get up and walk on it. It's almost like being on a floating dock.
Yeah, you lean over on that thing, and it's pushing back up under you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, You test drove mine when we were out at GV's, right?
Oh, maybe I want one.
Yeah.
What is that again? What model is that again, John?
Native Titan X 12.5.
Okay. Kendon, you agree with that, or you got another one?
I do agree with it. That's a good stable one. If we're talking, I'll give you a couple of options. If we're talking price point, what's the price point on the Native? I know since it's got the pedal drive, that makes it astronomical.
I think it retails at 36.
Yeah, that's okay.
About maybe four and some change.
Okay. That's good for the package that you get in it with the pedal drive and all. For me, I'm choosing the New Canoe Unlimited 10. It's a throw and go. It's just as wide. And I tell people this all the time. I tell that New Canoe regular Unlimited, the 12.5 is 41 inches wide, and that U10 is 41 inches wide. And I've been out on the river in it. That's the only boat that I could stand up on the river and like turn around,
Now, with it being that wide, are you paddling it or is it motor? Or you got a real long paddle?
I don't have a motor for any of my river setups. I'm strictly paddle, but for my lake setups I do motor. But it is a tougher one to kind of paddle, and it doesn't want to track straight as you would think it would. The New Canoe Pursuit, not the Pursuit, the Flint, which is a little bit longer but narrower. That thing tracks straight as an arrow. I always tell people it's a paddle board. And if you were going real budget, I'd say like those Lifetime Yukons. I used to work at Dick's Sporting Goods in Lenox before Georgia Rivers, and I sold a bunch of those to heavier set guys, and they had a lot of success. We have a buddy in our local group. He's a walking giant bean. He's like 6'6". He's a huge guy, and he's out there every day on the Yukon, killing it. So he loves that thing.
I like
you
that.
Get those for like $600.
Yeah, big bone, huh? Let's see. That was the bottom line out here. Does anyone know of a company that repairs X13s?
XI3.
Yeah, listen, I gotta learn all this XI. The second I said that one, nope, you just murdered that one.
Hey, when you find one, bottom line, let me know, because I just went out to Lake Lanier the other day, and I had to keep my XI3 on. I couldn't let it go off. I had to keep it on at least one, or it's got 20 stages of speeds, and I had to keep it on level 1. If I turned it off, I had to walk up to the front of my kayak, lift it up, and then put it back down, and then it would come on. I don't know what's going on. Those things, they always have some mysterious issue.
So
that's why I've got a pedal drive.
Motor Guide got bought out by Lowrance. So if you find a place that services Lowrance, they should be able to service the Motor Guide, because Lowrance is still honoring the warranty, and they've even extended it beyond what it came with from Motor Guide.
Yeah, there's a place up in Dawsonville, I think. Is it Dawson Marine or something like that? If there's DJ, I was just about to say, I was just talking to DJ about this today, and he popped in the chat. But if he puts in where that place is, I'm pretty sure they do XI3s. That's where he's taking his.
Okay.
That's not a Dawson Marine.
Is it Dawson Marine?
You got Bait Shack Marine. I'm trying to think of something up in Dawsonville. It might be Dawson Marine. Let's see here. I always murder that and say X13s, and I hear you guys say X3s all the time. Alex, you got anything? And you want me to keep going with the comments?
Keep rolling with the comments.
Keep rolling with the comments. Papa Pond Hopper.
They're coming up quick.
They are coming up quick. What's the biggest bass or fish you have hooked into and lost? And lost, not landed, and lost.
It's a lake right next to Stone Mountain Lake. I'm not gonna say the name of it.
Lake X.
Lake X.
Lake X
used to be a very prestigious private lake that a guy used to run an actual TV show out of this lake back on FS1 some time ago. But I was out there with a buddy, and we were coming across this little peninsula island thing, and I had a 6 cents what's that speed glide that they used to have, and there's some huge gizzards that are in this place. So I'm just ripping this speed glide across this point, and this tank came out from underneath this little dock that was next to it. I could see him, and he ate it and never got a hook, just came up and spit it. It was a good 8-9 pound fish. My PB is like 7.5. So, but that was the biggest one I've lost that I know was, big.
John, that sounds like your kind of lake. He said big gizzard shad.
Yeah.
Like 14-inch, 15-inch gizzard shad.
And I guess my biggest that I've lost, well, my PB bass is a 714 23-inch, and I hooked one significantly bigger than that, but it was in less than a foot of water, and she came up and jumped once, and I could see it was a bull shad swim bait in its mouth, and it was T-boned, and I couldn't keep it from jumping, and I stuck my rod tip under the water, and she jumped a second time and threw the bait, and it was a good bit bigger than my 714. So
okay, Alex, you might as well jump into the topic of misery here. What's the biggest one you got rid of? And listen, you guys, if you guys would throw the wacky worm, you'd pin them and you wouldn't be losing these. Y'all throw the big ass swim.
I've had some pretty monstrous stripers break me off.
Oh yeah,
they start running and there's nothing you can do to stop them.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Jeremiah wants to know hardest technique to fish from a kayak. Is it deep cranking, swim baits, jerk bait? As a non-kayaker guy, and I'm just going to say this, listen to all you guys talking, just that, I would think deep cranking would be the toughest. Is that what you would go with, Kendall?
That is, something I would go. It's one of them, yeah. And like you say, Varner is like it's a crank lake, and it's hard.
I think you're just not as efficient on deep cranking because it pulls the kayak towards it so much. Mm-hmm. So it's not as efficient as being in a boat, but you can also kind of steer yourself around with the lure itself, because it is pulling you a certain way. The hardest technique for me is if I'm in a kayak that I can't stand up on, I have a hard time with glide baits.
Okay.
Now on my boat, I can stand up so I can see what I'm doing, and it's easier to fish them. But in a sit down, like that little boat I use when I go up to Michigan, it's a sit down. You can't stand on that. Right. I got a very hard time throwing my glide baits on that.
That makes sense, and that's what you like to throw. So you're not happy at all, are you? How much do you fish Hartwell, and do you like it?
I actually do like it. I've only been twice, but I actually do like it. It's got so many points on it. It's easy to pattern, I'd say. But I've only been twice.
I'm so far behind the comments. I just got to where
is Hartwell similar to the Highland reservoirs we have around here, like Lanier or Allatoona?
Lanier is Hartwell on steroids.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. All right, so listen, guys. Like Alex heard what I was saying. Is I just got to the Cranking and Yankins comment about budget. So we've been answering all these questions. So I'm going to ask Kendon one more question here, and then I'm going to scroll all the way down to the end of the comments. So if I missed a question, type it again, because we want to get him to answer your questions. But once we get to talking and you guys start throwing them out, it's hard to catch up. So that's what we're going to do. But we're going to go with this one, and then I'm going to scroll on down. Are you going to try to fish all the GAK FLs next season?
So, yeah, about next season in tournament fishing. I probably won't be able to do. I'll make the ones that I can make, but with my work schedule now, I'm coming out with some more classes and my own trips, and hopefully my own little single tournament for the whole state to be able to join in for a monthly competition. So we're coming up with some big ideas that is kind of pulling me out of the tournament realm, but is putting me back in there too.
There wasn't quite as many. I wasn't as far behind as I thought I was. I thought I was way, way behind on that. So DJ the Bassmaster, if you could only use one lure for the river or lake, what would it be? And how about just do one for the river and one for the lake? Because I got to imagine it's got to be different. Or is it the same?
No, it'd be different. I think it'd be different. For a lake, it'd be a crankbait, a medium diamond crankbait. For the river, it'd be a glide bait.
Okay.
What's your favorite crankbait?
Favorite crankbait is what's that? It's the new Bill Lewis. It is some weird numbers that they put in there, but it's the 12-foot diver. But I really like the Bill Lewis series, the 6 Sense C10s and C15s, the 300 DDs. Those are pretty good too. But I'm a speed crank guy, so I don't give them a chance to even see that thing. So as long as I can get down and the crankbait is acting right, I'll pick up and throw it. But I am a speeding guy.
Okay. All right. Kendra, our Michigan friends here right now. She goes, what's the biggest body of water you guys have all fished? Not counting the ocean. Not counting the ocean. What's the biggest body of water you ever fished?
Gunnersville.
That's a big lake, dude.
And I entered in from the top, from locking in. We do a yearly trip with my work job, Paddle Georgia. We paddle 100. We tried to do 100 miles.
Yeah.
This one was 87, and we locked in from Nickajack into Gunnersville and went down 16 more miles, and then made a cut up the creek and got out. And then I drove all the way to the bottom of the lake at the day after that, and put in my lake boat and went fishing. So that was pretty fun.
Did you like Gunnersville? It's a lot of grass.
I love Gunnersville. It is a ton of grass. It's a car. I always joke, you can take the water out of there and it'll be just a nice green carpet across the whole land. It's crazy.
My cousin's going to Gunnersville this weekend. I've only been there once, and I said, dude, if you don't like grass, it ain't the lake for you.
Yep.
And I wasn't used to it. If you've never been there, it's almost overwhelming the amount of grass that's in that lake.
It is overwhelming.
It is.
Mount motor, it's crazy.
Well, let me ask you, how did you catch? Yeah, that's true. How did you catch fish while you were there?
So I did. I went on. I did like 3 different days, and I split it up. I'm like a big scientist on the water, so I try different things and go a completely different route, and trying something. So I went out, launched at the state park, and didn't do anything on live scope for like an hour. I immediately packed that up and went to some offshore grass mats, picked up a chatterbait, first cast, boom. So I just started hitting grass mats behind them, and that got pretty fun. The next time I went out there, I went out with a speed worm, a Magnum speed worm, and I put in a different part of the lake too, in like Spring Creek area. That's where it was. But I spanked them with just a speed worm. And then the last time I went, I spanked them with a jig on an offshore road bed. You didn't really need live scope. It was all mapping. I just went straight to a road bed and started throwing on it, started catching.
He makes it so simple. I struggled like hell over there. He's just like, I smacked him this day. I smacked him that day. But chatterbait's big over there. Speed worm is big over there. But the guys that have talked about Gunnersville, sometimes we talk about a jig a little bit, but you're the first one to ever said anything about a road bed.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anybody on this show or the other Livewell anything that said anything about a road bed. Have you, Alex or John? Not on Gunnersville.
I was talking to my buddy about this very same thing. You can go to Gunnersville. I'm an offshore guy, so I went out. I picked a bunch of places that I thought would hit. Gunnersville is a big river. I don't consider it a lake, but so it has very few offshore spots. And when I got out there, each day that I tried to get to one of those offshore spots, I found a boat already there. And those boats, they stay on those spots for hours. They don't move. So they wait for that bite window or school to come up, and because they know it's a hot spot, there's not that many spots around. So yeah, I had to game plan and re-strategize, and that's what made me find some grass, some more grass.
I got you, Alex, John. Y'all got anything? Well, or keep going with the questions.
I see a question up here. I'm ready for you.
Go ahead.
It's from Kendra. She said, do you find frogging difficult to do from a kayak? I struggled with the hook set, but was not on a kayak I could stand on. And I'll say it's all in your setup when you're in the kayak.
I throw a frog a lot. I don't have a problem at all.
Yeah, you Open your bail if you have to, but get that countdown. Wait a second until you know they're there, and then give it to them.
Cross his eyes.
Yeah, blister them.
Okay, so Kendon, do you fish a frog a lot?
I do fish a frog, not a lot, but special occasions. I did have, down there at Gunnersville, I fished it a lot. Caught 2 fish on the frog down there.
Okay. I was just
I don't do the count to 3 or anything, but as I'm working and they hit it, then I just point my rod tip straight at them and just start reeling. And then once I feel the tension, then you swing hard on them.
Yeah.
So I'm actually doing it. Like I said, I'm just pointing the rod and then just start reeling until you feel tension, and that way you've got a good hard set on them.
That's kind of the same thing.
If you're having a hard time getting a hook up on a frog, though, set up so you're throwing perpendicular to your kayak.
I was just about to bring that up. If you're pointing at them and you set the hook, it just drags you right to them.
Right. But if you set the hook hard enough, it don't matter. So.
Okay, I got you. I'm having to trust you guys on that answer right there. Bottom line, in tournament fishing, how do you determine where you're going to launch from? Which is an interesting thing about kayak tournaments. You guys can put in on a lot of them, put in wherever you want. How do you determine where you're going to
go? So I'll break down like I did this last championship at Lanier. It was a 2-day tournament, and I started at the south end of the lake and made my way north. And I actually found better fish in the part of the lake that was turning over, which was the north end. I probably did about 20 to 30 miles between the traveling back and forth, checking different creeks. But I'll break it down to where I want a certain inch average. So for the championship, I said I need a 17-inch average. And I got into a couple of spots, found the 17. I would catch 2 fish and immediately leave, or certain mornings for practice, I wanted to catch a 5-fish limit in one spot and then immediately leave. But that's how I usually approach it, finding the average that I want and sticking to that area once I find it.
Now, you just mentioned on that chat, what tournament was that?
That was Georgia Bass Nation, yeah.
And you won that one?
No,
okay.
I finished in 6th place. That was
still, hey, that's good too. That's it. Now, do you guys? Because I assume when he was talking about pre-fishing a lot, Alex, do you fish a lot of tournaments?
This year was a lot less because of work, right?
Right.
I couldn't get weekends off that we had races scheduled and stuff like that. But now that I'm back in the dealership, I'm not working weekends. I'm going to try to do some more tournament fishing this year. But I'm working 5 days a week. I can't go out there at all during the week. So I'm Saturday and Sunday the week before. I'll usually go based off of history. Unless it's a new place, then I'm map study.
Yeah. I found that interesting because basically he's like, you have to get in your mindset, like you said, 17 and a half. That was what it was going to take. And you got to go find those fish. And then you just, okay, that's my spot there. That's my spot there. What's a 17 and a half, guys, in weight? You know how I am. What's that average out to, basically?
Just under 3.
3?
2.5.
2.5.
Okay. Normally, if you hit 18 to 18 and a half, you're in the 3-pounders. So
okay. All right.
17 and a half is going to do 2.5.
So for this specific spot,
unless you're talking about spotted bass, and then I know nothing.
Yeah, well, no, down on the southern end of Lake Lanier, you catch an 18-incher, and they're almost pushing 4 pounds sometimes.
Yeah.
On the northern side, you catch an 18-incher, and it's like a 2.5 pound. So I played the kayak fishing. I played the kayak bass game. I don't play the weight game, and some people like look at me all crazy, but I'll go play that link.
Well, I'm glad you said that because just being a boat guy, I listen to guys talk about like these online tournaments. We can go fish any lake or whatever, and the guy goes, "I'm going to go to Lanier," and I'm like, you catch a 17-inch fish. That's a good fish, be 3.5, 4 pounds in a weight tournament, all that. But I always thought maybe that would kind of screw you a little bit, where you could go to a largemouth lake somewhere and catch longer fish. But I always found it interesting when guys talked about going to Lanier. Couple questions that are still there, but I want to get on to something real quick while before I forget it, I want to know about Georgia Rivers and exactly what that organization is, what you do there. You know, you're the fishing coordinator, but for those that don't know what that is, let's hear a little bit about it.
Yeah, so Georgia Rivers, we are the state's biggest nonprofit partner with Georgia DNR and multiple agencies from the state. But we go and advocate at the Capitol for public access to waterways. So if a particular property owner wants to say they want to deem a stream that backs up to their property as non-navigable, there's an old law that came out in 1863 that states any waterway that is navigable in the state of Georgia can be permitted for public use. And there's some gray areas to a lot of it, to property owners' rights as well. But we basically go down in the Capitol and we raise awareness, and we talk to the legislators and try to get them and their constituents to kind of be at public. We try to ease them into public access, leaving it as be. And you know, tourism is really growing in Georgia, so a lot of people are kind of seeing that. It's for this year. It was the first. It surpassed the agriculture revenue numbers for Georgia. So we want to, you know, go out and keep the peace with the public. But we put out and do about 20 trips that is led by Joe Cook. He's written 7 books for different rivers and their watersheds in the state. Phenomenal books. They have some real good access points and different amenities that each river allows, and some real good places for you to put in and fish too. Some little hidden gems in some of these books. But yeah, he puts on those trips. That's basically how we get paid. We put on a big paddle Georgia trip once a year for a week long. We go out and camp particular river or watershed and put people on there and show them the joys of recreating on Georgia's rivers. I am the fishing coordinator, so I do fishing trips. We also teach the public how to recreate and recreate safely on lakes and rivers. When it comes down to people, you know, dying or having trouble on waterways, it's the kayak numbers that are usually going up and the boater numbers are going down. So we recognize the need for safety and tools to be used, you know, with our instructors. So we get out and instruct the general public on, you know, coming home safely.
Yeah, no, I like that. And I love the fact that you brought up the access, because that's been in the news a lot lately. Georgia Bassmaster, when we had mullet angler and all on there, they were talking about that. How is that fight going right now? I mean, where are we at with that?
So it's kind of like a hush hush right now. It's both sides are kind of laying low. Nobody wants to kind of introduce a bill for either side of the fence right now. We are kind of, I'd say from our standpoint, we're kind of on that same entity too. We don't want to push things, so we're kind of weighing with that until we see the need to fight. Then we'll go raise the fight. We did have a little bit of foot in the big Okefenokee Stop the Mine event that was going on down there, and that was a big praise to my boss that's been working on that project for about 5+ years now. And now they're not gonna go down there on that shelf and mess up, you know, the Okefenokee Swamp, which I just got a chance to experience for the first time last week, and immediately, just an awesome place to be, and felt like a whole nother world, and still here in Georgia. Crazy.
Yeah, well, I bet. If somebody wanted to get involved with you guys for either helping with the fight or support and all that, how can someone get involved with Georgia Rivers?
Yeah, garivers.org is our website. You can go down, make a donation. You can support the cause. We have different levels and tiers. They start at about $50. You could put on like a certain sticker on a certain promotion that we're doing. You can come out to some of our trips and some of our trainings. That supports us as well. The trips are, I consider glamping. You can do the camping thing. That was my whole thing. This is my first year, so I did a ton of camping, and I actually loved it. So I got me a little 4-person tent. I bought me a little Yeti cooler and a cot and went to town. So, but come out to some of our trips. I'll be doing some Flint River trips, going for specifically shoal bass this year. We'll be launching in Big Laser WMA down there near Thomaston. We'll probably be doing some river stuff and lake stuff down there, but that's generally how you can support us there. Our website and our trips training.
Absolutely. And while it's on my mind too, feel free, either you do it or who, the powers that be with Georgia Rivers, you guys are always welcome to post on the Fish North Georgia group page anything you got going on. If that's just a little part, we can get it out there and help everybody see it so that they know it. By all means, I'll go ahead and pre-approve you. Do it. I mean, that way you don't have to wait for me to approve it, because sometimes I get busy and it'll take a while. But we want everybody to know what you're doing with that, because I kind of read up on it a little bit once Alex told me, got to do a little research and all that. But I got to looking at their mission and everything, and I'm like, this is a good thing. And I'm especially concerned about, I want you guys to keep advocating, for rites of passage for the public. But with that being said, what are some of the things the public can do to kind of ease a landowner? Because sometimes they do it because people go in, they trash, they're not responsible. Give me a couple of things that we as individual anglers can do to help assure that we can keep that passage.
I'd say so. When I pull up to a river, I'm usually launching under a bridge or something. I immediately clean it up. I kind of make my presence known. I've got Georgia Rivers like stickers and stuff on my car. So I kind of make it look like somebody's there taking care of the place. And I want us as fishermen to do the same thing. The big thing that the property owners talk about is they don't want people coming into their property. If you're on a river, if you can do your best to pass by somebody's property, if there's a sandbar in the middle of the river, if you can stop there, that's probably your best bet. Just don't want to leave any trace behind, basically, because these property owners, they do know, they have cameras and stuff too. So, but it's just taking care of the environment that's around you, and those people, they do see that, and that's their biggest concern, and that kind of helps speed us along.
That makes sense. I mean, what do you guys think on that?
Yeah, 100%. Leave no trace.
I like how you said that. Now, John, you're a lake guy more so than a river guy and all that. Just you're on Ackworth a lot and all that. Do you this is a question for me. Do you see other anglers actually taking care of that lake or the places that you fish, or do you see evidence of where guys are not being responsible, doing the right thing?
That particular lake's a poor example of anybody taking care of.
Well, that's true. That is true.
But no, a lot of the kayak fishermen, every time you see them come back to the ramp, they've got trash they've picked up in the back. And some days when I'm getting skunked, I take a few minutes to pick up some trash, and suddenly I'm catching fish. So
yeah, hey,
karma comes back to you. But yeah,
well, I think a lot of people do that.
And some of the lakes are just so well taken care of. Rocky Mountain, I mean, that place is spotless.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can pick up around that place. They keep it perfect.
And don't throw a weight there. Good Lord, don't ever get an electric boat and throw a weight there. They will get on to you quick.
Yeah, they don't play up there, but they do a fantastic job maintaining that lake.
They do. That is one of the best run facilities or any lakes that I've ever been to. And actually, the guys over here at Latham do a great job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Latham.
they really
Yeah,
do.
You fished Latham any, Ken?
yeah, I just a couple of weeks ago, I went up there twice, back to back.
I wish I'd have known you then. I could have stopped up. It's in my front yard.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I can walk out of my front door and I can be at the boat ramp in a minute and 25 seconds if I walk fast. I'm kind of fat, so give me 2 or 3 minutes, but it takes a second. There was a question we missed, and I want to get his version of how he throws a speed worm. But Alex, John, y'all throw a speed worm at all?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to hear how do you throw it, because that's Nathan's question. How and when do you fish that speed worm? How do you do it, Alex?
So I'll do it weightless on the surface in standing timber, but I'll also throw a weight on it, Texas rig, in the timber as well. It works really good in the timber.
Hey, like at Latham?
Yeah, Latham and on Lanier too in some standing timber. It doesn't have to stick out of the water.
But you're targeting timber.
Yeah.
John, do you throw it?
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never even thrown one. I'm assuming, Alex, you're just steady retrieve on it.
Yeah, yep.
So what's the difference between it and a paddle tail?
It's bigger.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't throw a burrito. But
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different to me.
It is. I think this question, Kendon, came up because you were talking about at Gunnersville.
Yeah.
I want your experience on how you worked it over at Gunnersville.
Yeah, so I was working it on the surface. Shout out to that guy, got him right there. He's the one that actually put a speed worm in my hand. But
this right here, that man.
Yeah,
Is that his nickname or is that your nickname?
No, that's his nickname. That's
got him.
But he started. We're like Got Him Gang. He started Got Him Gang.
Got Him Gang.
4 or 5 of us that go out here to do some damage to these fish. But
look at that name. That guy got him. 461. Look at that. I love it. Yeah.
I was doing what like Alex said, throwing it on top of the surface, but I normally do throw it. I've got one of those belly weighted hooks or so, because I can fish it a little bit more versatile. But what I do with it is that open end, that open C end of it, when it's on the hook, that part is facing up, and that way it brings it to the surface and makes it a little bit more. You can slow it down when it's like that. When it's turned a different way, it does nefarious things and it's not as consistent. So like I said, I'm a big scientist. I do different things to different worms.
They leave a nice bubble trail too. What speed worm are you throwing?
Say again?
What speed worm are you throwing? Zoom?
It was a Zoom Magnum. Sunfish. It was orange, like a orange laminate, green flake in it, and they were just chewing the mess out of it.
Nice.
What's your setup you throw that on?
7.2 medium. I was throwing it on a DC Shimano DC reel. 7.2 medium. I don't. I actually don't like. I'm phasing those things. I only have 2 left. But
listen, I know they're great.
I hate it.
They're great, but I mean, damn, you got a partner in a boat in an 8-hour tournament. You hear that all day long. You go home at night, try to sleep. And great reels. I get it. I just had to play with you on that. Let's see. Jeremiah wants to know, and I think I might know this. I'm going to guess. But he goes, what's your favorite bass species? I've always firmly been a largemouth man, but smallies are stealing my soul. Love shoal bass. Spots are just the other bass to me, really, unless it's a Lanier spot. And I get that. Lanier spots are different. They ought to be their own category of fish. But what's your favorite?
My favorite is probably shoal bass.
That's what I figured he'd say.
This year was my first time catching one, but I've caught a ton of them this year. And every time you hook into one, you think you have a giant. It could be a little 12-incher or not. But in current, those guys, they put up a hell of a fight.
Okay, if I was going to go tomorrow to whatever river it was that had shoal bass, what would I be throwing and what would I be throwing it on?
Tomorrow,
give me some juice.
Yeah. Chatterbait, white, either a longer profile trailer. I actually throw those copperhead from First Gen Fish. Shout out to First Gen Fishing. The copperhead, it does some crazy erratic stuff. Sometimes you're reeling it in and you think you have a bite, but it's actually doing this big old C motion. It's crazy. But that thing is just so erratic, and I never really fish it straight. But that's one that's real consistent. Shoal bass.
I like that. I'm gonna go ahead and ask John, but I know John. What's your favorite bass species, John?
Largemouth.
He is a largemouth connoisseur.
Okay? Yeah, I mean that's what I study. You know, everything they do, I'm trying to learn. So all the other bass species that I catch are just more for fun. But I hunt largemouth.
You hunt largemouth, and then I think I can go down to the bottom corner, Alex.
Yeah.
Spot.
Lake Lanier spots.
Lake Lanier spots. So I knew it. I knew.
Forget about everything else.
And it's just something
That's
different.
my second.
It is. Is it not just a different breed of fish all its own?
Yeah.
It's a Lake Lanier spot. It's crazy. Nathan said this is a very informative podcast. Well, thank you. We appreciate that. We try. War Eagle the best. Why I cannot swim through a river or creek if both banks are private? How to change this law? I don't know that you can change that law. That was kind of that gray area, private property laws that it's going to have to be dealt with. But it's just one of them things because that's
the one that's in trouble though. When they have property on both sides of the creek or river, that's the one that can really shut things down. So. It's perfect that you guys, appease to fish in North Georgia because we usually have those problems in North Georgia.
Trout streams
and fisheries there. So they're a big one.
It's technically, and I don't know exactly, but I think we discussed it. If you own one side, you own basically to the middle of the river, correct? Something like that. And then if you own both sides of the property, you own all the way across. And even if you do go through there and you get out of your boat, and the second even if you're in the water and you step foot on bottom, you're on their land. And then now you're kind of dealing with the water as well. So it's kind of, that's the people down there at the Capitol, and maybe Georgia Rivers can eventually one of these days kind of help us weed through that. But again, at the end of the day, I think landowners would be more apt to let you use their property if they, like you said, if it was respected.
Yep.
And I think that's the only thing we can control is respecting other people's property. And then we'll see where it goes. Bigfoot love missed you guys. That's John. All right, Kendon, you believe in Bigfoot? I know you didn't have that on your bingo card. But listen, we talk about Bigfoot every other podcast for some reason. Do you believe in Bigfoot?
Sorry.
Yeah. I believe there's some stuff out there. Yeah.
Stuff. That is as general as he can say. There's some stuff out there. Yeah, John, right below you, he is a big Bigfoot guy right there.
I don't disbelieve in Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, cranking and yanking, he's pulling out the Louisiana humor tonight. Last time I picked up some trash, I think her name was Sparkles. Good night. Jeremiah goes, does Rocky Mountain have any good crappie fishing? If it does, it don't get talked about a lot. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Most people go out there for bass. I know it's got some walleye in it. Yeah. I've seen them. I've seen people catch them, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've never even accidentally caught a crappie out of Rocky.
And if they're there,
I do, on Allatoona and Ackworth and all these other smaller lakes, I catch them, accidentally while bass fishing, but I've never hooked one on Rocky. It's got to have them.
Scott, you would think it would.
Yeah.
You would think it would. Nobody talk. If they catch them, they don't talk about it. It's like a hush-hush kind of thing. Miko says he put a speed worm in all of our hands. That's got him, I guess. Got him. And then now John G wants to know, what do you guys think a speed worm imitates?
A struggling bait fish, snake.
Anything. Yeah. My biggest thing is the snake thing. It's coming through that grass.
Let me ask you this: have you guys ever actually watched a snake get busted on top water?
I have waited, I had one across the whole lake just waiting, but no.
I've seen it 2 times in my life because my dad had a pond in the backyard that had a bunch of stumps, just a crap pond, about 1.5 acres, had big bass in it, and I watched a snake swim across top of the water. It is a wicked explosion when they actually do hit it. I've only seen it twice.
I've seen birds get busted on before.
Birds?
Yeah. I've seen ducks.
Have you really?
Yeah.
So I've never seen a duck get busted. And I know John likes to throw that duck bait, or what is it? What is that thing you throw that Spro makes that?
That crawler.
That crawler like that?
Yeah, I've caught a bunch of fish on a crawler. But yeah, I've saw one of those, the little brown diving ducks. I saw one of those things get smoked on Ackworth.
I've never seen it. I know it happens. I've never seen it. All right. Here's one for all of you guys. We'll start with Kendon, then we'll go to John and Alex. You finish this one up. If you had to use one swim bait and glide bait, what would you pick?
One swim bait would probably be that Zal Dangerous, or they changed the name of it, but the Dangerous Mafia.
Yeah,
that one.
Yeah.
And glide bait, those Nessies, man. I don't know what it is about those Nessies, but those things have exponentially grown my glide bait fish catalog.
Okay. All right. There you go. John?
Glide bait, I like the bull shad trick gill. It's a 7-inch, 4-ounce. And then you're talking soft swim baits, I guess?
It don't matter. Yeah.
6-inch burrito.
I knew the burrito was coming out sooner or later.
Yeah, I love the burritos.
I know you do. All right, Alex.
I wouldn't know what to pick really because I don't fish them that often. I got a few of them out there. Like Big Bait John gave me a couple too. Like last time we were at the store.
Yeah.
And, but I'd probably just go with something from Bull Shad just because of the name.
Yeah, just because you know it. Yeah. Can't go wrong with anything that they put out. All right, let's see. Nathan, has anyone here fished a river below the Lake Hartwell Dam called the Savannah River? Have you, Kendon?
I have not. That's one that I've been trying to get out there for the last 2 months. That's the last one on my list this year. I'm trying to do the Bass Slam, and that's probably the best one for Smalley or Bartram's bass. And I just want to check in on the area too. So I just want to force it out of that area. I know I could go get him somewhere else, but yeah, that's a good one though. The hurricane kind of messed it up, and they haven't been really opening it. The Georgia side up, the South Carolina side, I hear is open back up.
Okay. Have you never caught a Bartram's, or have you caught one before?
I have before, but not here recently.
I've never caught one. Any of you guys ever caught a Bartram's?
No.
Hey, and on the 10 black bass species in Georgia, how many of those have you caught? I know you mentioned doing the slam. You're trying to do the yearly slam, right? Right. Have you ever caught any of those ones like down in South Georgia, like the Savannah bass? And there's a couple little really small creek
Swanee bass. And,
you ever caught them?
I have not, and I just, I was down there last week trying to do that, but I really was going for mudfish or a pickerel.
Gotcha.
But those are a little bit harder to come by. Which at Georgia Rivers this year, I'm partnering with the Native Fish Coalition, and their mission is, one of the guys I'm close with in there is to revamp, the shoal bass population, but I think we're going to look into other bass populations and species and kind of, revitalize those systems as well down there in southern Georgia.
I think that.
But other than a smallmouth, what do you think the hardest bass on that list is to find?
It's got to be one of them little boogers down in South Georgia.
Yeah, the Swanee bass. They're still around there, but they're not talked about in the numbers that they used to be talked about. So it's not that big of a presence on trying to save them right now, but they're still hard to come by, I think. And then that Chattahoochee bass is another one that's kind of one of those weird ones that you got to kind of really look into. And I keep hearing the Coosa bass is another one.
Yeah. Do any of you guys know Andy Middleton?
Yeah.
He's tried to do that. And I think he's caught all but one. But he says some of those you actually got to go down and get like into some creeks. I mean, they're not like big river things. You actually got to get in some tributaries, and they're very small. And I forget which one he hasn't caught, but he had it hooked, and he would have had the lifetime slam, and it got off, so he didn't count it. Kraken and Yankin said, "Clap of Thunder just knocked my Elvis clock off the wall." I can imagine you do got an Elvis clock.
He would, yeah.
Foreman in Louisiana. that's coming this way. And they say we're going to get some of that storms here tomorrow night.
Yeah,
Jeremiah, I won't bring up Miss Bigfoot, I promise, Kendra. And then Rocky Mountain has walleye in it. Yes, it does.
Yep.
Yeah.
They got a big old sign right there that tells you at the lake.
Good eating fish, man.
And Justin Reynolds, he fishes electric bass stuff with us. He caught what would have been the lake record twice in one day. They didn't know
got walleye in it too.
Huh?
Lanier's got walleye in it too.
Yeah. They don't get talked about, and they run up the Chattahoochee like in February or something. That's the best time to catch it, what O'Neill Williams told us. But Justin had the late record pictures of it twice, and he let them both go because he didn't know that was the record. They were like 7 pounds and something, walleye and all that. So it was ridiculous. Here we go. Good question right here. 404 fishing. Which do you prefer, a stern or bow motor or bow? I've been hunting a lot lately, man. That's what was on my mind. Okay. You prefer stern or bow motor on a kayak if you could only have one, and why?
If I could only have one, it'd probably be the stern motor. Just because I came from the Vibe kayak. I had a little Bixby motor on the back. It was a little torpedo motor. And that thing carried me all around. And I had this, people would ask me all the time, how you stayed in one spot? I had to really learn boat control and really learn how to anticipate before the boat actually started to move. And that's what I kind of teach now. So that kind of taught me how to actually do boat control. And the bow mount now, it's slower. You know, these Newport motors that are on the stern, they're much faster, a little bit more efficient. And having that spot lock is not really needed if you know how to control your boat.
Okay. Alex?
I like the spot lock. I like fishing myself.
I know you do.
The wind so that the water's blowing to me, and I like to use the current, if we'll call it.
I got you. So here's where we're going to get a trio of opinions again. Because John, you don't use a motor, do you?
I don't use a motor. No, I like it to be very simple.
Yeah, I love it. Variety. It's variety night here. Jeremiah goes, have you fished the Ogeechee River? I know it has a legendary American shad run I always wanted to do, and plenty of striper and flatheads, but I always pass it and I don't fish it. Any of you guys ever fished the Ogeechee? How do you say it?
Ogeechee, yeah.
Ogeechee? Is that right?
I've never even heard of it, so no.
Yeah, it's down there with the Savannah River, or the lower part, but it's pretty cool little river. It's got a bunch of tributaries that are nice. Fished it as a kid, but not here recently.
I got you. Kendra wants to know, do any of you guys use an anchoring system on your kayak?
Yes.
What do you use?
Anchor Wizard, and with the chute off the bow. And then I just got an anchor I made. It's like a 5-pounder.
Okay. You other two, Kendon?
No, in my first kayak, the little Pelican I had, I used the anchor a lot, but not now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, same. In my old kayak, I did a lot. I had it on an anchor trolley, and but I mean, 3 mile an hour wind, and that thing's blowing you across the lake.
I got it. Okay. You still cranking and yanking, teasing you out there in the comments there, Alex?
Yeah, I don't throw no sissy A-rig, all right?
Western Marine Outdoors, bow mount for offshore, but I have an NK300. Did I say that right this time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. As well, and it pushes my PA 14 6 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Those Newports, isn't that what Georgia Bassmaster got? He got that big one on the back of his yak, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he was throwing a weight.
Yeah.
Like a rooster tail and all that.
I don't know what the model name is on that one, but it's like you could put that on your electric only boat.
Oh yeah, for sure. Have Kendon, you ever fished any electric only leagues or anything like that, or you just you a kayak man?
There's just straight kayak leagues. No.
Okay.
We see them a lot. We run into them a lot.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is that we're always on the same body of water. It seems like when we're fishing all these smaller reservoirs and all that.
Yeah.
Not so much. Well, occasionally on Lanier and all that. When we get on there, we see them. John G. Good Lord, I hope I pronounced this right. Have you fished the Canoochee River in South Georgia?
I have not. John's gonna have to take me down there and show me one of those spots. See, he doesn't know this yet, but he's like my South Georgia guy because we're coming down there to put some trips together. So
okay, all right. So you know John?
Yeah. He's a good friend of ours and competes in Georgia Kayak Fishing League as well.
Yeah. Well, every time I do a lunch break, he's on the damn river. I'm listening to you while I'm casting right now, Danny, and I'm like, good Lord, he's on the water more than anybody I know. Western Marine Outdoors says he uses a Power Pole Micro, and he says, yes, my kayak throws a wake with the Newport.
Yeah.
Is the Newport, is that the hot brand right now?
Yeah.
It pretty much is. Torpedo was pretty much under Yamaha, and they have their issues. I think Yamaha is, trying to do some bigger stuff. E-Propulsion is coming out with all battery, I think, and motor combo. And yeah, I think that's about it. And Bixby is still doing some things out there in a little bit smaller brand, but there's only a handful.
Garmin's got one now too.
Yeah, Garmin's got that.
It's not going to move you like the Newport does, but
yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. Yeah. Western Marine, he said because you can use any battery. I guess he's talking about with the Newport.
Yeah.
Is that what's on? You can use any battery. Bottom line outdoors, just by he says, and I saw several comments because I'm trying to keep up. A lot of people said the Nessies were, they gave you a thumbs up. And so he said Nessies are a flag 170. Then DJ the Bassmaster, always got to be a contrarian out here. Minn Kota is the best motor right there. I get it. Hey, listen, people like what they like, right? Western Marine Outdoors says the new Garmin is sweet looking. Okay, again, it's going to show my inexperience. Can I even put a motor on my Shoalie?
Yeah, Deshaun had or still probably has a Shoalie.
Well, what would you guys recommend for me? What kind of motor? Should it be stern or should it be on the bow? For
you, I'd probably go stern.
Why is that?
Give you something with some foot steering and let you go.
Okay. All right. There you go. Let's see. Here's a good one. Kendra wants to know. Kendon, we'll start. What was you saying?
I'm just reading the comment.
Okay. Would love to hear any good boat versus kayak. Do you guys get harassed by boat fishermen often? Kendon?
No, not at all. So I ran in the mill, and this is usually what happens. So I'll use it as what usually happens out there, but coming from like a top tier level. So I ran into a Mill Wagner one time in Young Deer Creek, and we were both gunning for one spot. I could see him coming down up the creek arm. I'm already in the cove. I'm in the kayak, so I'm not really moving that fast, but I'm moving right to this point. And he pulls up on the point before me, of course, and he spends like a minute looking there. And I'm like, maybe there's no fish. And he, hightails it out, waves at me. He can see I'm approaching the point, but waves at me and leaves. I pull up on the point. It's hundreds of fish there. I was like, okay, he was giving me this spot. So, but that's usually what happens when you pull up. Some days you can tell it's a tournament if you're an offshore fisherman because you'll get to those good spots. Some of them are community holes and they're really pushing up on you, but it's usually all good turns.
Yeah, Emil, he runs about 80 spots in a given tournament like that. But if you saw him lower down, he scanned it. He just didn't see what he wanted to see, and then he's gone.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's just the way he is. That's kind of tough. Like kayak guys, you guys can't really do that.
We can't do that.
We can't do it in electric only either.
Right.
There's a couple of guys out there with a nicer boats that can, but us common folk, we can't do that. We got to fish a spot, like that. But Mill's a good dude. He's a good dude. Let's see. NK 180. That's the Newport. Is that he's talking? Is that
one? Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Sham for real. Yo, what's up,
man?
You know Sham?
Yeah,
we know Sham, all right.
You guys know Sham. I wish I knew all these. I gotta learn all your.
Sham's been on he's been on the show before.
He's been on it.
Yeah, he came on for a short time to talk about the league that he started up.
That's right. Okay, I'm old, dude. I forget things like that. Okay, Kendon.
Yeah.
Take away Big Lakes. Give me your top 3 smaller lakes in the state of Georgia right now that you think are the best to fish.
Oh man.
Drop it, babe. Let's go so we can all go fishing. He's gonna lie right now.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna just tell you something that I can't even get access to, but I know that it hit. Like Lake Berkeley, I've been out to.
I know that
Berkeley Lake.
Yep.
I
I worked on a dock out there. I used to do some stuff, and the guy had a dock that I was actually working on. Dude, I mean, I couldn't fish it, but I saw what I was doing.
It's a whole nother world. I'll leave it at that.
100%. But we can't get on that one. How about lakes we can get on? Because that right there just guys, all I can tell you is what he said with that. If y'all, that's in Gwinnett over in Duluth.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's like it's private.
Private as hell.
Yeah. That's a nice way of saying it. But I saw someone swim because I was there in the spring. I saw some up shallow, and it's like ridiculous.
Yeah, I've only fished it at night, and watch what swims in those lights is just insane.
Oh, but you got on there.
Yeah, I've been on it twice.
See, I ain't never been on it.
Yeah.
Give me something that we ain't got to sneak into.
Best small lakes. This is crazy. I'd say Charlie Elliott has 2 of them out there that are really Fox Lake and Bennett. Bennett is the trouble one, but Fox Lake you can really get on a good bite out there, and some real good big ones too. Other smaller, I put Stone Mountain in that category. I love Stone Mountain when it's on fire, and I see DJ putting Rocky Mountain in there. I want to crack that one so bad because I hear about it. But if I had to go with another small lake, it'd probably be Black Shoals. Oh, you said not that big? Or?
No, it's fine. Yeah, I mean it can be an electric only reservoir basically.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the bigger of all is Black Shoal. Yeah.
But you know what's cool with that answer is, and John and Alex, you know that generally we get a guy up here from North Georgia. And he's going to say Hickory Log, Latham. He's going to say the obvious ones up here. We've never mentioned Charlie Elliott on this show on any Livewell. Nobody's ever mentioned. And that's a PFA just like Rocky Mountain, right?
Yep.
Where is that located at?
It's in Monticello, Georgia.
Okay, so it's down south.
Yeah. It's just past Covington and Conyers and all that. It's south of Social Circle. If you get off of that exit on 20 and you make a left or go up, you hit Hard Labor. If you make a right and go all the way down, then you hit all those lakes at Charlie Elliott. So they're off. Both those lakes are off the same exit.
Hard Labor's been fishing really good too this year.
Yeah,
Hard Labor. Yeah. But you know what's interesting is we always talk about our little circle of lakes up here. You go out 20 and you get out towards Social Circle and all that. For those guys, you got Varner, you got Black Shoals, you got Hard Labor, you got Charlotte. There's a lot of good lakes down there that we don't have enough guests coming on here to talk enough about those, but they're there and they're really good. Other than Black Shoals, Black Shoals, that's a bad answer. I mean, that's the worst.
I see Sam bringing up Juliet too. I was going to fish a tournament there for the Georgia Kayak Fishing League, and I ended up not being able to because my truck broke or work or something like that. But I was doing some research on it, and there was like some high teen bass getting caught out of there in like late 90s, early 2000s.
Have you ever researched Varner back in the day?
Yeah.
Oh, like he knows what I'm talking about. Like, go back and look at what Varner was putting out before they killed the grass.
Oh man!
Like, basically, Rebuka and all them, right? The whole big swim bait game got started in Georgia was because of Varner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like ridiculously big bags of largemouth and all that.
My dad's buddy's got his fishing room has like 2 15-pounders from Varner in there.
It used to be in GON magazine all the time. That's how I knew about Varner, because I get in there and I'd read about this mystically magical lake down somewhere below Atlanta that had these monsters in it, and it was Varner. And then
they're putting the grass back in there. I ran in the DNR end of last year, and they had this big old boat. They were putting out water willow. They put out 840 some odd plants of that. So
wow. That's good. But you know one thing about Varner that I've been out there a handful of times. That is the windiest damn lake I've ever been. See, he knows what I'm talking about. Like
windier than Latham?
Yes.
Bro, yes. There's nothing around it.
Nothing around it is flat. So you get the whole entire 20-mile-per-hour wind the entire day and all that. It's terrible. The problem with Latham is it swirls in 32 different directions.
That's true.
But Varner is like wickedly windy, or at least it has been every time I go.
If it blows north or south over 5 miles per hour, it's white capping.
Mm-hmm.
Over 5 miles per hour, it's white capping.
He's not lying. And that's just, I've seen some big fish caught out of it. We caught some fish, but my one memory of Varner is like, my God, every time I go down there, it is so windy.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize the north-south of that, but I've been in those white caps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in that. War Eagle the Best brings up, and this is an interesting thing, all you guys being kayak anglers. Anybody feels the bass boat guys think they own a ramp or a lake, especially expensive over $100,000 bass boat owners. Now, Kendon, if you watch the show, and if we have these two arguments like that, you have that one, and then you have the boat guys feel like the kayak guys feel like they own the ramp. You know what I'm saying? We get those two things. Alex knows what I'm talking about.
I've never had a run-in with anybody at any ramp.
That's because you own Ackworth and nobody fishes it but you.
Well,
no, I'm serious.
But yeah, I do fish a lot of the electric only, but no, I've never had a run-in with anybody.
Yeah. What about
I'm
you?
Patient myself. So
you are. You're a nice guy. He's the nicest guy I know. He really is. He is. He's top 5 nicest man I've ever met. Kendon, what do you think about that? You ever had a run-in with the bass boat guy?
I've never had a run-in with a bass boat guy. I preach to my buddies that are around me, do the ramp etiquette, but just this week or this last week, I ran up to Lanier and I was in Bayless and I put in and I had that motor issue thing. The same time that I put in and I didn't, find out until I launched and got away from the dock. But as soon as I launched, this big old wake boat pulls up. Both the guys hop out the thing. They're in the middle of the ramp. Bayless, I think, has four slots. They get out, and it's semi-busy. They get out. They both hop on the boat. They take off. They're gone for like 30 minutes. I'm having motor issues and stuff, so I come back over to the dock, and I'm sitting there. They
truck on the boat ramp.
Huh?
Truck was still on the boat ramp?
Yeah, they left the truck on the boat ramp for literally 30 minutes.
This year, I swear.
But I've seen that a lot this season, but that was the first time I ran into that. And I was like, what sense? I said, what sense did that make to leave the truck there? If somebody would have keyed us, if they were real mad, they would have keyed to them that, so you would have known.
I was at Thompson Creek last weekend, and this dad and his 2 kids hop in their wake boat and leave the damn truck on the ramp. Trailer in the water. What are you doing? Parking lot.
They just thought, okay, well, I get that. I don't understand why people do that. Glad you guys are chatting up kayak fishing every Monday night from now on. That's what we're going to be doing, and I'm going to be learning just like you guys. That's why I'm trying to pick these guys' brain. How about this from 404 Fishing? Shout out to High Voltage Electric Only League. Used to fish it before I got into kayak fishing. Yeah, my one of my few tournament wins was with High Voltage when they came over to Latham before Latham became the Latham we know it. And they just started fishing up here, and I won that tournament 5 fish with 5.6 pounds. Listen, it was like, I said this story. We had 4 fish going back to the ramp. We were embarrassed. We're like, I joined it because I saw they were coming to Latham. And then I was like, this is awful. We're going to be embarrassing that. There'll be spots to the schooling. So we threw out there and caught our 5th one and went in. And we won it. And then we went to Fort Yargo the next week and totally got our ass handed to us by them guys over there at Fort Yargo. That club has been around a long time.
Yeah.
That's one of the older electric only clubs around. Let's see. Jeremiah, if you have to choose one lake to look for double-digit largemouth for an entire year or you'll never fish again, where are you going?
In Georgia?
In Georgia. Double digits.
I'll probably go to Notley.
Okay, you picked a big lake. Did you say Varner?
Yeah, I did.
I saw that. Notley's a good choice. It's got some big largemouth. Varner's a good choice. John?
I'd say Rocky. I mean, really, I think you got a good shot at Hickory Log. It's just so frustrating with how many little ones you got to catch.
Yeah.
Out of Rocky, I see Rocky puts out more 7 and 8 pounders than any other lake I know of. But I've only heard of a few.
And every year off Hickory Log, they catch a 9 or 10 pounder. But like I said, you just got to catch hundreds of those 12-inch fish. It drives me insane.
That 404 fishing was fishing with a glide bait out there during the tournament this year, and he had like a massive fish come up and swipe his glide bait, and behind that was 2 more massive fish.
At Hickory Log?
Hickory Log, yeah.
Yeah, well, I had to go. We had an electric only tournament there this year, and I had to go to a funeral. So my partner had another guy, and he fished it, and he caught a 10 plus on the dam on an underspin.
That's what we always say about Hickory Log. It's got 12-inch fish and then fish big enough to eat 12-inch fish.
Yeah.
That fish had a distinguishing mark, and that fish has been caught 2 more times this year.
Yeah.
Really?
We've seen the picture.
John Sarah caught it too.
Who?
John Sarah.
John Sarah caught it. Tim Wyatt caught it. Wasn't Tim Wyatt the other guy?
Yeah.
I think so. Each time, so he caught it during the height of the spawn, and it was 10 something, and then it's gone down a pound or 2. Got back, I guess, to its normal weight the other 2 times it's been caught, and it's been caught in different spots of the lake. But it has a distinguishing mark.
It's got a big tumor on its.
It is the same fish, but I see more big fish as far as electric only, like double digits, come out of Hickory Log every year. But like you said, John, you got to fish it. You just got to be there. There's some big fish there. Let's scroll on down and see what I got going on. John boat guys think they own the ramp. That's what Sham for real said right there.
I've never had a big run-in with a bass boat either, really. I had an experience very similar to his and Emil's with LJ. And I seen him coming, and I was like, "Oh fuck, that's LJ. He's gonna take that spot." And he seen me and my friend coming, and he turned and went the other way. And I reached out to him on Facebook, and he's like, "Dude, there's plenty of water, and I can cover a whole lot more of it than you can."
Well, that's very nice of LJ right there to do that. Let's see. And Western Maine Outdoors, we have single track ramps here in Maine, and that's a lot of lakes kind of outside of like the metro areas are like that. Most of the ones are fairly. I mean, Latham's only 1 ramp.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of a booger to do a tournament on Latham.
Yeah,
do that.
Hickory Log too. I mean, Hickory Log's 1.
Hickory Log's got the worst parking lot in the history of parking.
Oh God, and it's so hard to find too.
But you know what we do? If we have a tournament on Hickory Log, because technically it's supposed to be daylight to dark, dude, we're loading our boats at 5:30 a.m. because if you don't, you don't get the parking. And I always feel bad when we do that because I know some guy just wakes his 9-year-old up, Saturday morning about 8:30, says, "Come on, buddy, let's go out to Hickory Log and put the boat in. Let's catch some fish." And they can't park nowhere. They need to fix that, but I don't know if they'll ever do that. Big Laser. You ever fish Big Laser?
I've always when I go to the Flint, I usually put in that Big Laser, but haven't fished it yet. But it does look like a good small fish.
I've heard about it.
I see. And Western Maine says, "Sweet, happy to input when I can. Kayak fishing up here since 2019 competitively." Hey, Western Maine, listen, every Monday night we're going to be doing this. And I actually had a guy reach out to me from New Mexico. I forget his name. He sent me a message, wants to be on the show. He won does Georgia Bass, no, I said Georgia. Does Bass Nation have like a state championship in every state? Something like that? So
Bass Nation, yeah.
I think he won New Mexico's.
Okay.
Alex, I'll give you his name and we can research him. Varner will kill a battery 404. Yeah. Bad. Has anybody fished Windward in Alpharetta?
No, that's super. That's private.
That is private. But when I was doing Eating in Air, I did one of them big mansion houses right on the lake.
Yeah.
And, I saw some big ones swimming there. Cousin Mac, Hickory Log is cheeks. Now, okay, guys, listen, I'm old. What does cheeks stand for? Did I just say something I shouldn't have said?
It's ass.
Okay, all right. I can't keep up with all the new verbiage. Hey, cousin, it's okay to say it's ass, but yeah, Hickory Log is. I'm gonna use that. I'll say that to my wife, and she'll be like, "What?" She thinks something like that. Yeah, Windward is extremely private. You'll probably get charged. It is like that. Aaron had a bass boat park on the ramp to put his gear up for the road today. What's up with people anymore?
Yeah,
the one we always, and I think it's more generally inexperienced kayak guys, is when they back their kayak right there and then they'll load it up. And I think the few times I've seen people fuss, it was that. But I've seen more guys in boats.
Oh yeah, they pull up, park
kayak.
it on the ramp, get out, do their straps, smoke a couple cigarettes.
100%. And I think as far as on the water, generally, I think it's the inexperienced. Like during COVID, we called it the Orange Armada because everybody went out. They could get out. They went out and bought them a Walmart or what. They bought them a cheap kayak just to get out on the water. Those people, if you're fishing a point or something, they're more apt to come between you. But most of the anglers, they know if you're fishing a point. You know if they're fishing a point, and pretty much everybody's respectful.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes, but you do have the jerk boater. I realize they exist. I mean, we hear about it every single week. Here we're back to your little scoper question right here. back in your wheelhouse, Kendon, right here.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, Alex too. John, there's not much for us to talk about with big glide baits and like that. So you're gonna have to learn how to throw a minnow so you can jump in these conversations. What jig head minnow combination?
No, I'd rather sit out.
I know you would. What jig head minnow combination do you get the most action out of?
It actually depends on the lake for me. I don't know if that's what you see too, Alex, but if I'm at Lanier, that graph shads from Z-Man with the little bulbous tail, and I think it's that skinnier profile. It just darts and it doesn't do the rocking motion like the other baits do. The ball head does, but I think because of that little darting thing that it does with the herring shad that's up there, it just makes it go crazy. And I've caught like maybe a handful of fish in other lakes with that bait, but outside of that bait and on Lanier, it's probably a 4-inch Zoom wing fluke is my most consistent on a regular ball head. If I'm at any other lake, that's what I'm throwing.
Okay. Alex, what about you?
I like the queen heads. I like the ones that have the reverse line tie on them. Yeah. And I like the horizon head also. And I throw a cast echo. It just, depending on the size of forage, depends on what size I'm throwing.
All right. So, John, I'm going to throw this question out to you. Let's say, I know you like big baits because of all my friends out there, you are the big bait guy. You and John Sarah, y'all two big baits. But if you went to a lake and you knew that the bait fish were really small, what would you be throwing?
I guess I'd be out of luck because I don't even have anything in the tackle box.
I know.
Well, I mean, I take that back. I ended up throwing that little bitty blade bait, that throw blade on that tournament on Lanier. So I guess something like that. But really, I'm not equipped to throw any of that small stuff. I would much rather throw an 8-inch swim bait and get skunked than have to throw that little thing and stare at a screen.
And he would. He's not lying right there. I like Doc Holliday's comment right here. This is back to your boater guys. Leave it on the ramp in South Georgia, and it'll be in the river when you get back. Listen,
I believe it.
I can believe in some places. Queen City LS, Sham for real, says on that. And DW Boat 18 says, Sunday, my brother cleaned my clock with a 1/8 ounce jig and Zoom green pumpkin worm. Caught several largemouth up to 3 pounds in one huge spot, 5 pounds fishing docks on the shady side. Kendon, if you go to Lanier or any big lake like that, are you automatically going to go offshore? I know you talked about offshore a lot. Is that your wheelhouse?
Yeah, it pretty much is now. But with what I found out from what I've done, and what I'll do is I'll actually go find the offshore bite, and then for the morning time or something like that, then I'll go pick apart that shoreline that I particularly found it. And that actually worked out for the championship. I caught my biggest fish doing that. It wasn't on live scope. I was in the area. I showed up. It was 30 minutes to get to that area. And I was like, I know these fish are going to gang up at 8:30. It's 6:30 or 7 o'clock. Let me hit the bank here first. And caught my 19-incher in the first 5 minutes. So that's usually how I do it. And then I'll get offshore once the time comes.
Sharon for real says, I've seen Ken sitting an 80-foot jiggling a minute.
Yeah. he gets on me a lot for that minnow bite. That's okay.
404 fishing gives a laughy face like that. So I get it. How about this question? If a brand new guy wants to get into kayak tournament fishing, what organization would be best for the beginner?
You really want to find those grassroots trails like Georgia Kayak Fishing League, the Appalachian Kayak Fishing League. The AKFL actually offers real good camaraderie because they don't do anything virtual. It's all in person. You meet up, you have a captain's meeting, you go, you drive to whatever ramp you want. You've got a certain amount of time to fish, and then you drive back to that meetup spot for weigh-in, and it's all cash. There's no PayPal, no fees, no none of that stuff. It's a good way to do it.
What do you do? Just take your five best pictures and
Yep.
put in your 5 best like that?
Yep.
Okay. What about you, Kendon, on that?
Those are the pretty much the best viable options in the state that's closest to us.
Yeah. Really the only ones that I know of anymore.
Yeah.
Really?
There is
because the little ones I used to fish, they're not around anymore, are they? 444 and even the KBF state stuff's not really around. Now every year there's some kind of benefit tournament that you can get in that's kind of low pressure and easy to start out with.
Yeah. Yeah, there's usually some kind of like a benefit or something going on. I mean, other than that, you've got Bass Nation, and the competition in Bass Nation is stiff.
Right.
So if you're going to fish that, you better be okay donating.
I want to say I know. I donate in every tournament I'm in anyway. I want to appreciate Cranking and Yanking here because he put that question up. And I'm sitting here while you're talking. I'm like, how in the hell do I pronounce that? And then two comments down, he put, that's P-row. So do they allow a P-row in kayak leagues?
I don't even know what that is.
I guess that's like a canoe. Is that a canoe?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't see.
Can you do a canoe?
I don't know. I wouldn't see why not in some of them. I think that there's like a length. They kind of dial it back. Like the PA-14, the Hobie PA-14 is pretty much the biggest kayak you can get.
Right.
They don't make them longer than 14 feet that I know of.
Right.
Yeah, I think on the Bass Nation thing, I think this says the limit is 18 feet. The last time, it's longer than the north, and I'm like, who's gonna be out in an 18-foot kayak? But it's something crazy. Yeah, it's like 16 or 18 feet that they limit to.
I mean, my electric only rig's 17 and a half. I mean, that's a kayak as long as my boat and all that. Like
maybe that they know something in the future that we don't know.
Yeah, you can put a lot of stuff on 18-foot kayak. You know, let's see. It's a P-row, 11-foot, 1-seat trolling motor. Look up Water Moccasin Outdoors. Okay, so we'll look that up after the show for sure. All right, Kendon, we're kind of getting a little late on in the show, but I want to ask you, what do you think is the future of kayak fishing in Georgia on the recreation side and then on the tournament side? Where do you see it all going?
I think recreationally, we have the best bass or multi-species bass populations for a state in the U.S. and I think that's what's gonna be the story for getting people out recreating and finding fish on our rivers and lakes. Maybe I'm thinking like on down the line, all of this stuff with the non-navigability just falls off by the wayside. Georgia does see that the revenue dollars are coming in from the stream of tourism, and Georgia's going to turn around and do something about it. Yeah, we're in talks now with some state departments for putting in specific signage. Like as you go over a bridge, this is this waterway, and they're trying to get them to put in some boat ramps for that too. So we're getting some headway with that, but Georgia is recognizing that pivot and that switch from agriculture to tourism. And because we have that dense population of variety of bass, I think it's going to drive just a lot more people this way. As far as tournaments, I think if they start to get more homey and more seminar style events, that will bring out more people. People want to learn. It's a learning culture, and they want to They want to talk about their experiences. Fishermen are, they can go all day and they want to show up to that. So that's what I'm trying to introduce, make a month-long tournament, but have a couple weekends out that month-long tournament to do some seminars up in North Georgia, maybe some down in South Georgia, but make it a big homey feel. And I think that's where our tournament organizations are going to have to go to keep sustainability in that realm.
Yeah, that's an interesting comment because I've never talked about it, but I always saw one thing, big difference between kayak tournaments being online and the way you guys do it and a regular bass tournament is we all meet up at the ramp in the morning. We all come back to the same ramp in the afternoon after you weigh in. We can shoot the bull, all that thing. And to me, kind of like a little bit of that is missing. And maybe kind of something similar to what you're talking about with the seminar kind of stuff too, getting guys together. Let's see, a couple more comments. Kendra says the recreational boaters are the worst. I agree with that, especially the ones that just went out and bought a brand new boat and they don't know how to load it or back it up.
Oh, God.
That's the worst.
I would sit at the boat ramp for 30 minutes waiting on people to get their crap together.
Oh, I know for sure. John G says the SEGKBF, so I'm going to guess, Southeast Georgia Kayak Bass Fishing. Is that it?
Yep.
There you go. Won't be doing lives next year either.
No.
Yeah. No. Okay. Is that a big thing? I'm not familiar with that.
It was a small club. They're going to do online stuff. Really, okay. The evolution of the cell phone has really killed it because back in the day, even before I was kayak fishing, you showed up just like the AKFL. You show up in person, you pay your cash, you go fish, and you're bringing back a digital camera and you're judging photos on a digital camera because cell phones didn't have a camera capable of taking a good enough picture.
Okay, that makes sense. John, I got a question for you because I think you are I would say a lot of guys probably relate to you. In fact, they just get in a kayak and they go fun fish. Mm-hmm. They just want to go find a lake. They like to catch big fish and all that. Where do you see it going? Because you're still kind of relatively new to this in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, just
doing it forever.
I mean, just from what I see at the ramps that the lakes I fish, it's really died off actually in the last year or two compared to what it was, especially during COVID, where you couldn't get in a parking lot. So something needs to change if it's going to continue to grow. And I think you kind of hit on it that I think a lot of the online stuff, you lose a lot of the camaraderie. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like I said, as far as the lakes I fish, there's been much fewer kayaks on it over the past year than it was 3 years ago.
Okay. So the answer, Kendon, is what? Take the tournament outside. Let's just go for the regular guy. Mm-hmm. How do we get more regular guys out there? In a kayak, just fun fishing. And John, you can answer that.
I think a lot of it's the initial cost. And I think we've been guilty of it at some of the demos that we have done. We take these decked out kayaks and we let people demo them and they're very interested in being on a kayak. And then they say, well, how much? And the cheapest one we brought out there was $4,000. That's way out of most people's price range to see if they enjoy a hobby or not. Mm-hmm. So I think on these demos specifically on the demos at some of these smaller lakes we do, we really should focus on maybe bringing out someone like the Moken, some of the lower price boats so that people can see that it's financially reachable for these guys to get on the water without spending $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
For what I've seen this year with some of the classes that I've put on, it's some people need a confidence booster. Sometimes that class is the confidence booster to get them out there, especially somebody that's new that's trying to figure out if they want to do this. That's a huge leap for them. And I found that most of the people already had a boat. They already had XYZ. They already had the whole kit and caboodle, the strap for this. And I'm mostly going through and you don't need this, you don't need this, you don't need this. But they just want the confidence and the somebody out there with them. So if you're out here and you have not experienced this yet and you want to grab somebody, one of us, even come to one of the classes, come to one of the trips, and we can plug you in and get you out on the water. Sometimes it's just a big confidence thing.
Yeah, Alex, think about the first time I got in that kayak over there.
Yeah.
I jumped out on Latham. I was a little nervous. I wasn't sure. So, you got to have somebody like you to say, hey, let's go. Come on, do that. And a lot of guys probably don't have that.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I see more and more, like out on Lanier at least.
You're seeing more out on the big lakes and stuff.
Every time I go out there, I'm seeing more and more. I see 2 or 3 guys out there, or girls. Mm-hmm. But I feel that a big mistake that a lot of people make is they buy the wrong kayak, and they go out there and they're not comfortable. They've got a hard ass plastic seat, hurting their back, hurting their butt, and it's tippy, and they think they're gonna flip over, and they're scared of the boats, and they put it up and they don't go back out.
Okay, that's all valid points right there, I think. Well, guys, first of all, hey, listen, Kendon, hell of a guest, dude. I appreciate you coming on tonight, and there's a lot we can learn. I seriously, thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah.
And again, if somebody wants to get involved with Georgia Rivers, shout that out again. I want to make sure.
Yeah, that is garivers.org. Mm-hmm. If you want to reach out to me in email, I am Kendon, KENDON @garivers.org. And I do have an Instagram, the Aviator Fishing, and YouTube as well, the same handle. But come talk trips and training with me and get you out there on the water.
Well, you said Aviator Fishing?
Yep.
Aviator Fishing. Okay. I will say this. I hope we can make you a frequent guest, because I think too, not only we didn't really talk tournaments as much as answering questions and all that, but I like that too, when people want to know things and you're willing to answer and all that. But where are you going to fish this year, your tournament, so we can follow you a little bit?
I'm more settled on the Georgia Bass Nation side, so I will be putting most of my energy trying to get out to those tournaments. But yeah, as soon as I tell them, at Georgia Rivers that I was on the show, they're gonna kick my butt and make sure I get out on here. So
again, let me tell you this though, seriously, anything that we at Fish North Georgia can do to help you guys, please reach out. We'll help you in any way we can.
Post stuff in the group too.
Yeah, always post. Always. I'll go ahead and prove you.
I appreciate that. Some of those groups, they kind of hate me. I'm on the hate list, but I appreciate that, because
you got to be you got to be really, really bad to get on our hate list.
Yeah,
our hate list. And how long we've been around? 5-6 years now, whatever. Yeah. I think I've banned like 2 people, 2 or 3 people from the entire thing. Most people are very good. All it takes is a couple of them. Like a couple of them get a little squirrely, just gonna say, "Hey, dude." But most people understand. But hey, we appreciate you coming on tonight. Seriously, anything we can do to help you guys. John, Alex, appreciate you joining us tonight. And again, every Monday, guys, and share this out with all your kayak buddies so that we can actually build Monday nights for. It's going to be yours, and I'm going to get out of the way and let these guys where they can really talk kayaking and everything, and then I'll do my live wells and all that, and I'll just peep in from time to time and make squirrely little comments and all that stuff just to mess with the guys. So, hey, listen, if we don't talk to you, we do have a live well tomorrow night. There will be no lunch breaks this week. Got stuff going on, and I got a funeral Wednesday at 12, so that kind of messes that up, and I'm not just going to do one. So we will do the lunch break again afterwards, but next Monday night we'll be back. You guys, if we don't talk to you, have a great Thanksgiving. Be safe out there. If you get out on the water, you go hunting, whatever it is you do, first of all, be safe, enjoy some time with your family, and we hope to see you again on the next one. So with that, we're going to end the show, and I appreciate all of you guys out there. So we'll see you on the next one.
Night.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.